What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to share with you the exact four-step cash flow system that helped my wife and I go from over $70,000 in debt to a multiple six-figure net worth in just a few short years without dramatically increasing our income. And for over 7 years now, I've used this same exact system to help my students master their money and begin saving an extra $1,000 or more every single month to begin putting towards their goals and building the life they've always dreamed of. Now, whatever you do, do not leave this video because at the end, I'm going to break down every single step of this system and show you how you can copy it for yourself to transform your finances in the next 90 days or less. But don't just take my word for it. This system is working for real people just like you. Check it out. So this is Sean, a husband and father who, when we first started working together, was spiraling out of control with credit cards, payday loans, and struggling to provide stability for his new family. After implementing our four-step system in his finances, not only was he able to pay off all credit card debt and payday loans, he was able to stack over $40,000 in savings to finally provide that stability he was looking for his family. And let's take Mario, for example, an avionics professional that when he first came to me dreamed of buying his first home, but was drowning in so much debt that he could not qualify. After plugging in our four-step system, he was able to knock out over $50,000 of debt and not only buy his first home, he was able to custom build it. Super proud of that guy. And let's take Barry, for example, an entrepreneur who, when he came to me, said, Coach, I have never had a problem with making money. I've just never been able to keep any of it. Well, after applying our four-step system to his finances, he was able to increase his cash flow by over $7,000 per month. Guys, that's $80,000 a year that this guy was leaking out for just not having the right systems in place. And we have tons of student wins, guys, all over the place. People taking cruises that they never could before, dream vacations, $1,700 of debt paid off in the first month. So many wins, guys. I don't want to bore you with all the pages of these, but we'll go through a few of them. Just take a glance over these guys. Changing lives. Far from perfection. We'll get into that later. We don't need to be perfect for this to work. But guys, this stuff works, okay? I think I got one more here. Just student wins, aha moments, changes in all mind, body, and soul, not just simply financial. It is changing lives, guys. And before I get into our four steps, I'll tell you a little bit about my story. If you don't know who I am already, I'm Fernando Velasco, otherwise known as Coach Fern, and I've been helping people for years with their finances. Maybe you've seen my content on Instagram. Maybe you're already on our platform. Maybe you've already booked a call with us and are just looking to learn more. Super happy that you're here. But this journey started many, many years ago with my own financial situation. See, I never dreamed of becoming a financial coach. I simply was trying to figure out how to best set up my family for success. And when I first got married, man, over 10 years ago, I was drowning in over $70,000 of debt and had only $200 in my bank account. I remember my new bride and I moving into our apartment together and it was empty. We were drowning in debt with barely any money in our account. And I'll be honest, I just felt like a complete failure. And I know some of you probably know exactly what I'm talking about or know how I felt at that point. And this came after years of trying, guys. This wasn't for a lack of trying. I was trying all the budgeting apps, reading all the books, trying all the different systems I could find, but nothing was coming together to get me the results that I was looking for. And so I knew something had to change. And being the nerd that I am, I decided I was just going to build it myself, taking all the good that I found out there and leaving out the stuff that just wasn't working. And after years, I finally was able to crack the code. Okay. I was able to figure out how to fully master my money and systemize it so that I knew what to do every step of the way. And this is when I developed the four-step system. Okay. The key of this four-step system was learning how to identify and maximize my cash flow. Okay. Cash flow meaning what I have left over at the end of the month to put towards goals, right? Not towards food in the fridge or gas in the car, but towards building the life that I've always dreamed of. Okay. And Fast forward, we were able to buy our first home, flip to a multi six-figure net worth in just a few short years. And now, truly, as you can see in this photo, building the life that I've always dreamed of. It's been an amazing journey. And now, fast forward a little bit further, now we have this coaching company to help hundreds of other students develop this. And like I said earlier, I never dreamed of being a financial coach or having my own business like this. But after I started getting results in my own life, people started to notice and they started to ask me, what are you doing? How are you making this progress? And I would ask, well, how are you managing your finances? And person after person, friends, like colleagues, whoever was around me was just they had no system in place. Their answer was like, I don't know, I just make sure the bills get paid. Maybe you can relate, right? And so I realized, okay, let me show you what I'm doing. And person after person after person was blown away by the clarity that they were experiencing and the control that they began to have. And most importantly, the results that they were able to produce. And after working with so many friends and family members, I realized what I had was special. And so I decided in 2018 that I'm going to try to reach as many people as possible with this. And ever since then, our average student has been able to increase their monthly cash flow by over $1,000. That's over $10,000 a year, guys, going towards your goal without having to work any harder for the income you're already making. Okay, and we're on this wild mission now to change the lives of 1 million people. Why? Because we know this system works and we know that Americans need it. We are needing the help because we're not doing so well financially. In the next several minutes of this video, I'm going to be breaking down this exact 4-step system that not only changed my life, but has been changing the financial trajectory of hundreds of students for years now. And by the end, you'll have everything you need to execute it for yourself. Now, throughout this breakdown, I'm going to be showing you screenshots of the exact budget template that I created to specifically execute this system. And if you'd like access to it to make sure you're getting the best results possible, I'll show you at the end how you can get access to it for free. Let's dive in. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive into this 4-step system. I'm going to break down each and every step. I want you to grab a pen and paper, something to take notes, because literally by the end of this, you're going to know exactly what to do to break this down, implement it into your finances, and start seeing amazing results. All right. So let's start with step 1. Step 1 of this process is getting organized. Okay. We need to know what the heck is going on with our finances right now. What are the different bank accounts that we have? What are the different investment accounts that we have? What are the different debts that we have? What are the different bills that we have? Okay, what is going on with our finances and getting it all laid out in a nice and clean, organized way. Okay, in our budget system, this is our finance report where you can see it's a literal flow of what did you start with, what did you make, what did you spend, equals what you finish with. Right? And we can see we have account boxes here for different savings account, investment accounts, whatever you might need. We also want to get clear on what are all of our different debts. Right? If it's your goal to knock off your debt and to become debt free, we need to know what debts do we have, what are our minimum payments, what are our balances, what are our interest rates. We also have a debt calculator that'll help you lay out a game plan for how to best attack these debts. Okay. But the first thing we need to do on any journey is figure out, where are we starting now? Okay, so what I want you to do as homework, and like I said, I'm going to get you access to this budget later on, but if you want to get started now, start writing down all the different aspects of your finances. Okay, I recommend breaking it up into the different accounts that you have, the different streams of income that you have, the different types of expenses you have, monthly bills, minimum debt payments, and we're going to get into step 2 when it comes to daily expenses, but I want you to write everything down. Okay. Now, once we know where we are, we need to figure out, where are we heading currently? What is our current trajectory? What's happening with our money right now? And this is going to be done in step 2 of collecting data. Okay. Now, this is something I say often to my students. When is the last time you probably have a phone bill, right? A cell phone bill that you pay each month. When's the last time you've accidentally overspent on that phone bill? Never, right? You pay them exactly what they ask for and not a penny more. But if I ask you, when's the last time, admittedly, you've maybe spent a little bit too much on eating out or something like that? Yesterday, right? That is where we tend to leak our hard-earned money. And so in step 2, we are collecting data of where is our money going? What do our spending habits look like? And we want to find some basic categories to be able to kind of put this together in such a way that we can get a clear overview of knowing exactly what my spending habits look like, where my money's going, so that now I can begin turning the dials and knobs to get it moving to where I want to go. Okay, so now that we know where we are and we know where we're heading, we need to take that organization and all of that data and put it together into step 3 of making a plan. Okay, now most budgeting software, spreadsheets that you may have used in the past, your own style of budgeting that you may have tried, typically this is where it falls short, right? Typically, getting organized and collecting data is really nothing new for you. Okay, but what the lack has been and why you haven't been able to see results is because it's all retroactive. It's all looking backwards on what happened and not looking forward and building plans and projecting for the future. Okay, so in step 3, we need to put this organization together, the data that we've collected to build a plan. And there's one key aspect that I need you to focus on with this plan. Okay, inside of our system, we identify something called the cushion. Okay, this is a metanoia term, it's not a financial term, and it means your projected cash flow. Okay, again, I mentioned what cash flow was earlier, but I'm going to repeat what you bring in each month minus what goes out, what you spend each month equals your cash flow. And the reason why you have been struggling financially up to this point, 99% of the time, is because you are living in the state of a negative cash flow. If you've ever felt like, hey, every time I put money aside into my savings, I feel like I have to withdraw it within a month or two. Hey, every time I take money off of the credit card, it feels like I got to put money right back on after a month or two, right? And you're living in this state of ups and downs. It's because you're in a negative cash flow. Okay, so what we need to be able to do is put all the numbers together to make sure that what comes in each month satisfies what goes out each month. Okay, and ideally speaking, we have money left over, aka cash flow, to then begin putting towards our goals. Okay, now this is once we know where we're at, where we're heading, and now we know how to get to our destination, right? And ideally, we're building a plan that puts you on a positive trajectory because of a positive cash flow. Okay, I want you to understand something. Debt cannot remain, mathematically speaking, cannot remain in the state of a positive cash flow. It will naturally melt away and stay away. Debt begins to accumulate because of being in the state of a negative cash flow. Okay, so long as we can build a plan and know exactly what we need to do to be on a positive trajectory, we know we're going to win. However, there's a big caveat to that. Just because we built a beautiful plan and just because we're 100% clear on where we need to go does not mean that you are good at sticking to it, which is step 4, the most difficult but most important step of this entire system. And one of the things I want to teach you today is what I call the big 3 of money mastery. Okay, systems, mindset, and inner principles. Okay, this 4-step system that I'm teaching you and the tools that you're seeing that go along with it is just one aspect that goes into mastering your money. We also need to identify the proper mindsets, things like taking ownership over your situation. Okay, you are where you are today because of decisions that you've made. And until we can take ownership of that, good luck trying to make a change. Okay, things like we don't make excuses, we find solutions. There's a million and one ways that are reasons that you're not going to be able to hit your goals. All we have to do is find the one way that we're going to be able to do it and execute it. Okay, this is something I often we deal with a lot with our students is I couldn't do it because of this, or I didn't have time, or this and that. At the end of the day, we need to find the solution. Okay, another one, we have a bunch of mindsets and core values that we teach to our students. Here's another one is we don't simply hope and wish for a better future. We work hard to make it happen. I know, guys, right now you have a dream life in mind. You have a life that you've always wanted. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to just happen. We have to make it happen. We have to do what it takes to become the people we need to be to have what we want to have. Okay. And then lastly is the inner principles that we need to develop in order to be able to stick with this for the long term. Okay. I always tell my students, and I'm going to say it to you, I have zero interest in helping you for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months. My goal in working with our students is to help transform them into the people they need to be able to be successful financially all the way to the finish line. Okay, for decades to come. Okay, and some inner principles that need to be developed in order to do so are things like stewardship, discipline, self-control. Those are our three inner principles that we teach inside of our coaching program. Okay, discipline of doing the things that you know you need to do even if you're not feeling like it, and self-control is not doing the things you know you shouldn't be doing even when you feel like it. Okay, and stewardship is our leading principle of just being a good manager of, right? We all have resources, we all have money, right? We all have income, but how are we doing managing it? Because that's going to be a direct indicator of what your life is going to look like, right? I don't care. I've coached people who make a ton, I've coached people who make a little. How you manage your money is everything. Okay, so again, once we know where we are, where we're heading, and we build a plan, we turn the dials and knobs of our numbers to be on a positive trajectory, we need to then become the people that we need to be to stick to the plan, step 4, for the long term. Now, you essentially have two options, guys. Option A, take everything I just showed you and try to piece it together yourself. Maybe you'll figure it out eventually. Or option B, let us help you implement this proven system step by step. Here's the truth, guys. Most people who try option A end up stuck in the same spot months from now because this isn't just about knowing what to do, it's about having someone show you exactly how to do it. And if that sounds like something you're wanting to get help with, I want to tell you about our Money Mastery Accelerator. This is a program that we designed after years and years and years of helping people make this transformation happen. I've been able to learn what works and what doesn't work. And I've been able to put it all together into a program that's specifically geared towards making this transformation happen for you once and for all. Now, while we make mastering your money simple, that does not mean that it's easy. I mean, let's be honest, you would have done it by now if it was. And I want to ask you, what would it mean to you to have 100% clarity of your finances at all times? To never have to wonder how a bill was getting paid or worry if you'll have enough for it? What would it mean to you to have an extra 500,000, even $2,000 in cash flow every single month for your goals? And what would it mean to you guys, finally, to become the person you need to be to make this change in your life once and for all? Now, there's only one way to make sure this happens, and I want you to be clear on what this program is and what it's not. Okay, this is not strictly a done for you program where we just do all your budgeting and accounting and tell you what to do all the time. While we do have some elements that we carry for you, this is not going to just be all us. Okay. Also, it's not a do it yourself program where we just give you access to a course and wish you the best. Okay. We're going to meet you in the middle here and do this with you. Again, like I said, I'm going to talk about some areas that we do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. But at the end of the day, we need you becoming the person you need to be to make sure that this lasts for the long term. Yeah, we can help you out for a couple months on certain things, but unless that transformation happens in you, this isn't going to stick. And that is what our ultimate goal is. So let's go ahead and go over what you're going to get with this accelerator program. Now, while I said earlier that this was not a done for you program, we are going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you up front. When you hop into our accelerator, the first thing we're going to do is build out your entire budget and plan for you. Skip the guesswork of trying to figure all of this out on your own. We are literally going to streamline you through steps 1, 2, and 3 and provide you with a fully built out plan for success. And we're going to deliver that plan on a one-on-one call with your dedicated accountability coach. Now, just because we're building this whole thing out for you doesn't mean you're going to fully understand how to execute this plan well. So that's the next piece of this journey is making sure that you are learning and mastering this system for yourself. You will get access to my entire masterclass that teaches my four-step system step by step so that you can fully understand it for yourself. Most of our students watch through this a couple of times to make sure they're fully grasping everything. Now, here's what I want you to understand about this masterclass. I've worked really hard to make this as thorough as possible, but it's just not possible for me to answer all of your specific questions in all of these videos, which leads me to the final and most important aspect of this program: ongoing support and accountability. Now, after you're done for you budget build out and one-on-one call, and while you're working through the masterclass and executing these systems for yourself, you're going to have a ton of questions. And I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to have moments of weakness. Nobody is perfect, and we don't expect our students to be either. So, to make sure that you're being fully supported and held accountable, you're going to have an obsessive amount of time and attention from us. First, you're going to have access to what we call our budget share system, which means the budget and plan that we build for you is going to be shared between you and our coaching staff. This is where you can get 24/7 support to ask all of your technical questions and where we can get hands on with you in customizing this budget along the journey. None of our students' budgets look the same by the end of this program because nobody's life looks the same. We are going to be able to fit this to your unique situation and specific needs. Next, you're going to have access to weekly support calls with your dedicated accountability coach. While you will have 24/7 access to ask questions, it's sometimes just easier to work through specific concepts or customizations face to face. And you guys are going to have plenty of time to do so. Additionally, you'll be joining our private metanoia community with over 1,500 members and getting access to your own cohort chat. This is huge because you'll be surrounded by others on the same journey, sharing wins, asking questions, and getting support anytime you need it. Now, along with all of this support, the thing that we know makes the real difference here is accountability. And to make sure that you are sticking to your plans and hitting your goals, you are going to have bi-weekly accountability calls with your dedicated coach. These calls are specifically designed to keep you focused and progressing towards your goals, more falling off track or losing momentum. Finally, and most importantly, you are going to get access to weekly strategy calls with me. During these calls, you and I are going to work together to optimize your personal strategy based on your unique situation. I want you to understand that I hate cookie cutter black and white advice. When you ask me questions on my calls, I will be pulling up all the numbers that you and your accountability coach will be working on perfecting together so that I can give you tailored advice to your unique situation, which might be different than the next student who asked the same question. Also, during our calls together, I'm going to be identifying key mindsets that need to shift in you in order to help you become the person you need to be to find success financially for the rest of your life, not just while we're working together. All in all, guys, we are literally going to copy and paste this exact system that's helping our students unlock tens of thousands of dollars from their already existing income into your unique financial situation. The same four steps I taught you earlier in this video, but you're probably going to go try to figure out on your own. If you did want to do this with us and accelerate making this change in your life, we even guarantee our results. That's how well we know this works. If you're serious about making this change in your life and you're tired of trying to figure this out all on your own, here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to go find the link provided with this video and book a one-on-one financial game plan call with us. In this call, we're going to do a few things. One, we're going to understand where you are in your current situation and where you want to be, your goal, your target. Next, we're going to dive into your specific numbers to identify the main problem that has been keeping you from getting there on your own. Lastly, we are going to deliver the mindset shifts and strategies needed to fix this problem quickly. Now, throughout this call, we are going to determine if we feel you'd be a good fit for our accelerator. I'm going to be honest, not everyone is, but if we think we can get you serious results and we feel that you're ready to put in your part, we'll show you how you can get started. Worst case scenario, guys, you're ending this call with massive clarity, specific action items to begin attacking. And earlier in this video, I promised you free access to my budget template. So I will make sure by the end of this call, you have full access to everything you need to get this journey off to a strong start. So if you're tired of trying to piece this whole thing together, watching countless YouTube videos, starting and quitting all those budgets and apps, and you're ready to finally get the hands-on support, accountability, and strategy that you need to make this change in your life once and for all, I want you to go ahead and click the link provided, fill out the basic questions to help us be prepared, and book your one-on-one financial game plan call now.